Hello, everyone. If you're out there, welcome. Uh, say hi if you are. I appreciate it. It's just getting everything set up. As you know, I'm a little tech savvy, shy of being savvy, and just shy of being illiterate. So, but we're there. We'll get there. My earplugs are all messed up, which I don't need right now because nobody else is talking. But get it untangled before I do need it. So, if you're out there, say hi. If you want to come up, I'll be putting a link up here in just a moment. So if anybody wants to come up, they'll be able to. It's just going to take me a minute. I gotta get my phone going. Hey, Mike, married to a beautiful woman. How you doing, sir? I hope you're doing well. Like I said, I'm just trying to get myself set up here. I'm glad you made it. And I see Dan did a live not too long ago. I didn't know it. I'd have joined his. But all right, let me get a invite up in case anybody wants to come up. Uh, All right, anybody, if you want to come up, come on up. I appreciate it. So, like I said, welcome to the stream. So, well, Mike, you got any questions? It's going to be a very boring one if I just talk and nobody answers or says anything. Today, it's having light flurries out there right now, Mike. I don't know how you guys are doing, but they're calling for 7 inches to 12 inches of snow overnight. And that some of that time it's going to be like an inch or more an hour. The heaviest being overnight. I'm just glad I got tomorrow off. I will go out tomorrow sometime and clean the car off so I can get ready to go to work on Monday. It'll save me some time. It's always the best thing to do if you have it. You can do it the night before. I still may have to clean a little off, but the way they're talking, I may not have to after I go out and clean the car up on Sunday. Like I said, it'll be late afternoon. I'll go out and get the car cleaned off. I did all my running earlier today. I helped a friend out. They had some running they wanted help with, so I did that. And then I've been home since a little before 4, and sitting around, cooked my supper. I had pork cutlets for supper tonight, pork sandwiches. I grilled on my indoor grill. One of these days, I'll have to show my new one. Maybe I'll do a short when I'm cooking some chicken or something. Or we'll see. Right now, I got some tuna down. I'll cook on the grill tomorrow or Monday. And I got the chicken down, and I'll do that the other day. I haven't decided which one I want to cook first. I was going to buy gas yesterday, but with this snowstorm coming, it's like, if you don't need it, don't do it because it's just going to be one big mess at the gas stations, at the grocery stores. Everybody's, panic buying or whatever you want to call it. If I was still up in Rochester area, there wouldn't be any panic like this. You'd have some, but nothing like this. But this is they're calling for it's a major storm down here. I mean, if you get 12 inches, 5 inches isn't that bad, but for down here, a foot pretty good storm. Where I'm from, a foot would be a really big storm, even bigger than here. Where I'm from originally. Now, because people go out, they fill their car up, they buy all kinds of groceries, and they're only calling for the storm to last, you know, basically 2 days, today and tomorrow. But it was late today into tomorrow. So if you got enough food to last 4 days, you're in good shape. That's all you need. Uh, 2 days would probably be more than enough, but you get 3 or 4 days. Hey, Ann, how you doing? Welcome. Like I said, it was just flurries when I looked out last. It hadn't really started snowing heavy yet. They weren't calling for that. Hang on a minute, I'll look out my window. Well, turn the camera off if we can see anything. No, it's too dark. We can't see anything. Okay, sorry about that. We look to see if we can see something. But couldn't spot anything. As you can see, my bed's unmade up. I did my laundry today. I have got the bed taken apart. I got to put the mattress, the sheets on, and the pillowcases on. I haven't done that yet, and so we'll get that done here in a little bit after I get done with this. Like I said, I did my laundry, so I still gotta. I gotta match the socks up and make up the bed. That's all I got to do. Now, Crystal, how's Mark doing and the kids? Are they doing well? I hope. But ah, we three kings of Orion. Yeah. Oops. Good. Give you a little time to yourself. Nothing wrong with that. Uh, Mark works too much, so he needs to take some time off too. I had a good week last week. I worked 52 hours last week. But I have a nice short week this week. I'm only going to work 32. I'm taking one day off. I have to go to the VA. I have a couple of doctor's appointments. Uh, I have uh, three different kinds in there. They're all black. So one's going to be, hey, Jerry, they'll be easy to match up. I mean, they're so different. It's really easy to match them up. But they're all just tangled up right now, so I just have to do that. Also, I turn my socks inside out when I wash them and dry them, so I have to turn them right side back out, and then put them together. It won't take long. I just haven't got around to it. I went into the living room after I put up all my permanent press and the rest of my underclothes. I went into the room, living room, sat down and started watching TV. Then I cooked supper. Then I came in here and started this. I forgot. I also did dishes. So, hey, Ian, how you doing? Welcome, Tim. Welcome, sir. I hope everybody's having a good day. I know it's a good morning over there. It's evening here, and evening there in Canada where Mike's at. But if anybody wants to come up, come on up. You know me, I like company. So, but yeah, I had a fairly decent day today. Now, yesterday was a bummer of a day. While I was at work, we had a kind of emergency in the building, in the warehouse building. Now, I work out in the gatehouse, but they had to evacuate the warehouse. And when they call for an evacuation, I have to evacuate the gatehouse as well. And I go into the yard, the truck yard. We shut it down. No trucks allowed to come in or anything. And so I had to go out in the yard with the employees and stand around for about an hour and a half in the cold weather. It was about, 26, maybe 26 degrees Fahrenheit, about 3 degrees, maybe 4 degrees below zero, minus, -3, -4 uh, Celsius yesterday when I was out there. It was really nice and cold. And I had to stay out there for about an hour and a half. And then they decided they cleared up one room inside the warehouse where all the employees could go. And I was allowed to go back to my gatehouse along with the TOM team who I work for. I work with the TOM team. It's Transportation Operation Management, TOM, TOM. And we opened the gatehouse back up and so we could turn all the trucks around because they couldn't come in. At my time to get off, they still hadn't opened up. And that'd been almost 3 hours since the incident happened. And my relief walked down the outside of the building because you can't go in the building during the incident. You can't cut through it. So he came down, relieved me, and I went home. And so it was a good little day. I mean, outside of having to stand out there for about an hour and a half in the cold. Now, I did have my winter coat on, my gloves and stuff, but after a while, even then, you start getting a little cold. But at least my feet never got cold. My fingers did, but if my feet and my hands are warm, I'm all right. I can take the cold. I really don't like it, but I can take it. So I was, like I said, I was out in the weather for about an hour and a half yesterday. That really, as far as energy go, it kind of sapped my energy. But we're all right. Now today I stayed in bed for quite a long time, and part of it's because of being so tired from being out in the weather, and the rest of it just being lazy. Let's be honest about it. I was awake for a while and laid there for about an hour after I woke up, just because I didn't feel like getting out of bed. So that, like I said, that part was just being lazy. Yeah, that's what Mike was saying. Three Kings Day. So you like turkey there, Ann? I like turkeys. I like white, the breast, the white meat of the turkey. I like that. I'm not too big of a fan of the dark meat. I like the chicken dark meat better than I do the turkey. But I prefer the white meat of both. I prefer the breast meat. Uh, but yeah, turkey and gravy, especially if you have some mashed potatoes and gravy. Uh, Now, when I was younger, now this was for breakfast. My mom used to make biscuits and gravy. Now the gravy was usually sausage gravy. So you cook up the sausage, then you make your gravy, and you have your biscuits, and that's a very popular meal in the Midwest for breakfast. And so I've had that quite a bit. Jonathan, how you doing? Welcome. I hope you're doing well. And like I said, I'll tell you, like I say, tell everybody else, if you want to come up, the link's at the top. Just go ahead and click on it. We'll get you on, and you can talk with me and talk to the people out there. If you like, that's fine. Also, everybody that has a channel, type in LLL, and my Nightbot will drop your link. Don't type anything else, just three L's. Mabel, you don't have a jacket? Oh, how silly of me! I'll give you a jacket. Well, Bill, how you doing? And there you go, Mabel. That should help you. How you doing, Anna? I hope you're doing well. Uh, Jerry, why don't you come on up? You're back home. Jerry, you'd love it here right now. It's about, well, let me see. It's about 31 degrees and snowing. That's Fahrenheit, people. So right now, They say 0 degrees Celsius. So that's what the temperatures is right now. Oh, no. Yeah, that's fine. But very good. Rona, how you doing, Rona? Welcome. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's New Year started off right. Well, it snowed the other day, but it didn't snow a whole lot. And Rona doesn't have a jacket. Sorry, Rona, give me a second. I don't like anybody getting cold. Yeah, Rona, you got Anna. You got up earlier than I did. You got up at 7. I didn't get up till after 8, probably about 8:30. Oh, wait a minute, that is your time there. We got up around the same time as far as the morning goes. LV, 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 LV. In case y'all wonder why my finger looks like that, not like this, that finger is bent. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it bends that way. It's a kind of arthritis that I have in my right hand. I have arthritis in both hands, but I don't have any deformity in my left hand. And but yeah, I can't close that finger all the way. I mean, I can't. I can do a fist here, but I can't do one here. It just won't shut. But it's cool. It's just arthritis, LV. That's all it is. It's just arthritis. I forget what kind of arthritis they call it. There's a certain name for when it deforms your finger. I don't know if that's rheumatoid or that's normal. I mean, there's a couple different types of arthritis, and this is the one of them I have. I have arthritis in both hands. But I've had it for years. It's something I learned to live with. It doesn't stop me from doing anything, so I just go ahead and keep on going. I'm sorry, I cannot do LV scream justice. Now, she's more than welcome to come up and scream, on my in my live stream if she wants. But I can never do LV's scream justice, and so we just can't do it. I noticed that Dan did a live stream today. Only lasted about 18 minutes, but I didn't notice until after it was over. I would have joined his live stream if I'd noticed it. Sorry I missed the one where he gave away 500 pesos, but I was busy getting ready for work. I mean, that was, I'm sorry. That time of morning during the week, I'm usually up and either getting ready to go for work. It depends on what I might have been driving into work during a part of it too, because I take off. So I leave my apartment around 6 o'clock my time, which is 7 o'clock in the morning your time. I get up 5 o'clock my time, which is about 6 o'clock your time. And then I remember I'm talking in the evening for you guys, where it's morning for me. Hey, we got Jerry coming up. Hey, Jerry.
Hey, it's kind of dark already.
Yeah, but at least the lights got. I can see the cat walking around and stuff. So
yeah,
welcome back to the States. I know it's nice, and yet it's also disappointing.
Yeah, it's so damn cold here.
Yeah,
it's few days that it's been warm, but it's just so cold at night. Temperatures in the 40s, in the 50s.
You want to trade temperatures right now? It's 30, 31.
Yeah, I think I have a heart attack. I got that's a chickenpox. The adult version. The what's the adult version of chickenpox? I'm trying to remember. Shingles.
Oh, you got the after. The after.
Like 35 years after.
Yeah, the after.
That's so painful.
I've had the shock to keep that from happening because I had chickenpox when I was younger. I hear that's very, very painful.
It is really painful. I couldn't qualify because I'm not 50.
Okay. Well,
for the vaccine, you got to be 50 to take the shingles vaccine.
Okay.
And so I'm not 50 yet, not for another 3 months.
Okay.
And I caught it in the Philippines.
Oh, you mean you
And
can't? Well, you don't catch it. It's in your body.
it triggered by stress.
It can be triggered by many things.
Yeah, and that's stress is what triggered mine. Is it
Okay.
the doctors? Two of them told me it's probably the flight or you falling down over there where I was at, where I
Yeah.
fell down.
Okay.
Just shortly right after that, I got but I didn't know it was shingles. I thought it was just a reaction of me falling down. And
Yeah. Well,
I said,
that's always possible because if you fall down and scrape your leg or something, you can get what they call cellulitis.
yeah, no, it was in the chest, in the back.
Okay, so it wasn't where you fell at. Because I've had cellulitis, and believe me, that could put you in the hospital. I
Wow,
spent,
no,
I was
I fell and injured my ankle, but that could have been it, or the flight is what the doctors told me.
yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things cause stress. Like I said,
But
my
that's what caused it. Or that's what triggered it.
yeah. Well, shingles can be caused by a scratch, like a mosquito bite, or when you scratch
Wow,
it,
and
it gets
anything.
infected. Yeah, it gets infected. It's some kind of wound, whether it's a mosquito bite or a scratch, gets infected. And my leg swelled up. It was below the knee. I mean, it was down around the calf, down to the ankle.
Yeah, I didn't
It
get bit by
swelled up.
no mosquito. I was
Yeah,
worried about getting bit by a dog
yeah.
more than anything else.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I think you can get rabies shots before you get bit, and if you can, I'll do that
I've
before I
asked
go
and
over.
nobody here had it.
But I'll check with the VA before I go over.
Yeah, I
I know
asked the
rabies is
doctors
very
and
prevalent over there, and it's just
yeah, it
like
is. That's why I wanted to take it. But I asked clinics and doctors, we don't have it. Pharmacies, not in my area. Maybe if
yeah,
I was in Houston or Austin or
yeah.
Dallas, maybe.
Like I said, it may be hard to find out, but I'm going to look before I go.
Mhm.
I know
Yeah,
it's.
no, yeah. I asked about it.
Remember, Chris had
Hmm.
to take shots.
Yeah, I
Chris
remember he
is
got bit
severe,
by a
yeah.
little puppy.
Little puppy, just playful bite, but it turned
Yeah,
out it had rabies.
yeah, and
So
that's why I was concerned this time around because I remember Chris
uh,
getting that having to take the shots after that because of the dog of the puppy.
yeah, it was just a puppy, and he said
Nonetheless,
the dog wasn't being vicious, but he was just
it's
playing, and it nipped him. And the puppy
yeah,
came down later with
the rabies.
rabies, so he started getting the shots. But I'll see if I can get those before I go over. Just because you hear about people that get bit, they don't realize anything's wrong. They go back home and they either get real sick or die.
Yeah, no, I first time around I got hepatitis A and B
Yeah,
shots vaccines. The very first time I went. So this time around I went and asked. No, so you only get it one time. You don't take them every time you go out.
yeah. No,
So
no. The hepatitis shots are supposed to last for years, my understanding.
yeah, they told me no, you only do it once.
Yeah, that's what I
So,
said. I didn't think you had to do it very often.
no, and of course I wanted the rabies wasn't there. I didn't qualify for the. I didn't know what shingles was, so I looked it up afterwards. It
Yeah,
says 850 and older. Well, I'm not
yeah.
50 yet.
Yeah, I wonder about the. I know people in the Philippines doesn't like the dengue shot, but
The
I bet
dengue.
you
Well,
dengue
yeah,
or
the
however you
dengue
pronounce it.
with the mosquito.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll think about that one too.
yeah. We
I'll think.
that one we have down here. Dengue and there's
Yeah,
a few of the
dengue.
mosquito ones. We don't really have malaria,
Yeah,
but dengue and there's another one with a mosquito.
yeah. There's a couple of mosquito borne. Like you said, malaria being one of probably the worst one. That one and dengue, the worst
Yeah,
two I know
malaria is not
about.
prevalent
There,
down here. It's
there
not
was
too.
another one down in South America. The what was that? The Zeta virus.
Yeah, I think so. Something similar to that. But
Yeah,
yeah, we
but that was worse for women who were childbearing age because the kids could get real bad deformities from that, if
yeah,
I
it's
remember right. But
not good.
because I remember when they were having the Olympic Games down in South America. I can't remember which country it was, but that was one of things they were worried about was that Zika. I think it's pronounced Zika. Started with a
Yeah,
Z, but
yeah, something similar to that. It's really cold out here. I'm outside, and I left my jacket in the truck. I went I went vlogging, and the damn switch on my brakes went out. So I got pulled over by a state trooper, by state police. Said your brakes
yeah,
aren't working. I thought it was the brake lamps.
yeah,
It was the uh, what do you call it? The damn little switch
okay,
under where the brake pedal is inside the truck. The
yeah,
cap went out.
okay.
So lucky for the state. I guess I was lucky there that the state troopers pulled me over and told me about it.
Did he give you a fix-it ticket?
No, it was a warning. Most of them are the warnings here.
All
Most of
right.
the time,
Well,
if
like
you
I
said,
said, like something like that. When I was out in San Diego, a friend was driving my car, and the tail light was out. They gave him a fix-it ticket. That means you fix it, you go in, show them it's fixed, and it costs you nothing. But
no,
if
it
you
was here
don't,
just a warning. It's
yeah,
a
but I'm just saying, if you don't get it fixed within so many days, then it costs you money.
yeah.
Now this is back in the '70s, and so I opened up my trunk. Somehow my tail light had popped out of the socket. It was still working, but it was inside the trunk, not
Yeah,
inside the socket.
so it just was. Of course, you can't see it when you press it. It was just
Yeah.
loosened. I guess I caught it there.
Yeah, but like I said though, so I just popped it back in, went by the police station, showed them, and because the ticket's issued to me because I'm the owner of the car, not to
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
And so I took care of it. There was no problem.
yeah. I
But
bought the part at $16, so did it right prior to going live. So I had to go to the next city since my city didn't have it.
yeah,
The auto parts store.
yeah, sometimes some of those parts are hard to find. You have to look for them.
Yeah, you got to go to the bigger store, the more populated areas. But I didn't want to go into my hometown because it's more cops.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
like
didn't.
I had a part that went bad, had to be replaced on a Chevy that I had back in the back when I was still living in Indiana, the early to mid '90s. I had this Chevy Cavalier, and they got this cap for your. Trying to remember, what was it? It's for the brake fluid. It was a plastic cap, and a brand new one cost like $8. And I know $8 today don't sound like much, but it was a lot of money for a plastic cap.
Yeah.
So I went to the junkyard, and they said, "Oh, we sell out of those. I mean, people come in that always getting those." They said they must go bad, or people must break, or something all the time because we can't keep those. They're always a new one of those cars come in, they're gone.
It's a
So I had to buy
defective.
a brand new. Yeah, I had to buy a
Defective.
brand new one. You could
Wow.
and it was one of those parts that you could not buy secondhand. I mean, you couldn't go and get a off brand that would fit. It was one that you had to buy this part from Chevy itself.
Yeah, it's just designed for that vehicle.
Yeah, well, I know it was one of those parts that had I guess, patent on it, and they couldn't do an aftermarket.
Nah, that
And
sucks.
yeah, so you had, if you wanted, if you couldn't get a used one from the junkyard, you had to buy a new one from them, and you had to pay the $8,
Yeah.
which is what I had to do. I mean, it's just it was like I said, parts. It was well, I had this older Dodge Dart, and the heater hose was rotting, the cloth on it.
Yeah.
So I went to buy a new heater. I was just going to buy a new one and replace it, right? It's not that hard to replace. It's the one on the inside. You pop it out one end, pop it out the other end, and pop it back on. But it was an unusual heater hose size. One end was like 2 inches, and the other end was like an inch and a half.
Mm.
And I could find the heater hoses. Both ends are 2 inches, or both ends were an inch and a half, but I couldn't find one where one end was one, and the other end was the other. So what I did is I took it off, took duct tape, taped it up, because I couldn't find a new one to buy. taped it up, put it back on, and it worked great.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, well, all I had to do was keep the air inside the hose so it could go on. It was for the defroster.
Yeah,
The air wasn't getting up on the windshield to defrost the windows during the winter, so you had to get the air up there somehow. And the car warmed up quite well because, like I said, the heat would escape from the hose right into the car. So it wasn't like I was having trouble having the car heated. I just couldn't get my windshields cleared off.
yeah,
So that's what I had to do. Sometimes you just got to make do with what you can.
yeah. I agree.
And so you're back to work, right? Or have you gone back
Yeah,
yet?
I started Tuesday because my schedule said I worked Monday. Then I reached out to the HR people. Said, "Well, I'll see you Monday. I just need to make sure everything's updated." They said, "No, you're off. Just don't disregard because they started giving us post COVID. They started giving us off holidays.
Okay.
Before that,
Go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say before that I worked every holiday but Christmas. Christmas the
Well,
only day of the year they're closed.
we're closed on Christmas, and that's the only holiday that I know of that security gets off where I work. Okay.
Yeah,
They shut the place down Christmas Eve around noon, actually closer to 1, and they don't open back up until the day after Christmas,
Boxing Day.
about 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
So, so I went in. Like I said, I had Christmas off. And then I went in on Tuesday about 5:30 in the morning. So I worked 9.5 hours because I couldn't see calling somebody in for an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. So I went in an hour and a half early, and then I worked 9.5 hours that day. Now New Year's Day, I worked 12 hours. I had a guy that went in the hospital that Friday before New Year's, and I couldn't get anybody to. We were short. I got one person to work. Sunday they went in at Saturday they went in at 3, and another guy went in at stayed over to 3. Now Sunday, the person that went in at 3 took the day off because it was their birthday, and they already had it off before this guy got sick.
Yeah.
And I called this other guy. Well, he was out of town, so he wasn't going to be. I'm the boss, so I have to make sure the shifts are covered. So I called this one guy that was going to work that day to cover for the girl that was out for her birthday. And he was out of town, said I could be there at 7, but I can't get there by 3. So I ended up going in on Sunday from 3 to 7. One of my days off, I went in and worked 4 hours, make sure it was covered. So there's 4 hours of overtime. And then I went in Monday and Tuesday both days, 3 to 3, so 12 hours both those days. So I got 12 hours of overtime, and I worked 12 hours on a holiday.
Got to take advantage when you can, and that's what I used to do.
I just as soon not work overtime. I'm sorry.
I used to love it, but
I did when I was younger. I did when I was younger, but I'm getting to the age where I really don't care about overtime.
No, I do. When it's possible,
how you doing? Mason, how you doing? Welcome.
I try to do when possible, when it's available to us. I'll do 10 a week, and that's it.
Well, like I said, I'll do it if I can't get somebody else to cover it. I'll do it because I don't want to leave. If I really wanted to be a stick in the mud and say I won't work any overtime.
Yeah.
I could just say, hey, look, get a hold of Tom, and Tom can cover it. Well, Tom wants us to cover it. They don't want to put their people out there. They used to be out there. That's why they gave us the contract to cover, because they didn't want their people going out there anymore. So they get upset if they have to cover it.
Yeah.
But my boss is willing to let them yell at him. He doesn't care if I don't want to do it. He tells me, he says, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. So they can yell at me. And I said, no. I said, I'm old school. We're contracted to cover it. If I can do it, I'll do it. That's the way I am. It's our responsibility to cover it. So if I can do it, I'll do it. But I'm lucky. I got a couple of people more than willing to work overtime. On the days they're working, at least, they're more than willing to stay over or come in early. Either one. Hey, lady, Lady Me,
Yeah,
how you doing?
there's always a Joe or Mary that'll gladly do that.
Well, I got a couple Joes are willing to do it. Now the girl, the Mary, she was willing to come in early that one day. Now she can't cover Tuesday, so I'm taking Tuesday off to go to the doctor's. She couldn't cover Tuesday because her dog just had an eye removed,
Oh,
and
poor, poor dog.
yeah, but her mom has to go to work that day, so she has to stay home with the dog, because it just had the eye removed, because it's going to take a while for that dog to adjust. You know that,
Yep,
everybody.
yep. Just like a human.
Yeah, and so I understood that. Now the one guy who's actually working it now told me no because he had a doctor's appointment on Tuesday, but he called me back and said he canceled the appointment because the doctor he wanted to see was going to be off that day, so he wasn't going to be able to see him. And so he's covering it. So, and he only works when I need him. This guy, he would love to work more often, but he can only work like one day a week, and I can't have him on the regular schedule for one day a week. I can bring him in to cover for somebody, which is what we're doing. He covered for her the day she took off. She's covering for me the day I'm taking off. And so that cat just wants to get in that bowl, doesn't she?
Yeah, that's the chicken scratch. Got chicken feed for the chickens.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see.
He likes getting in there.
Yeah.
Now, Mason, how you doing? Welcome to my live stream. If you got a channel and you want to drop your link, just type in LLL. Don't type in anything else, just 3 L's, and my Nightbot will drop your link for you. Now, Maysene is a new follower. I've not seen her before today. This is the first time I've noticed her in the live stream. Now, also I had Roland come in earlier, but Roland I've seen in other live streams.
So what do you call what you're drinking, Larry?
Black Coke. No, it's Coke Zero.
My relatives back in Indiana, they called it pop. So when they would come down here, we don't call it pop. So what the hell is a pop? And it's just a Midwestern thing.
Well, yeah. Well, you got there's some people just say Coke.
Yeah, that's what they do down here, regardless of whatever drink it is, unless it's like Dr. Pepper, Sprite. But in generic version, we still call it Coke, even though it's not.
Yeah. But there's some areas call it soda.
Yeah, I think the Northeast.
Other areas call it pop.
Yeah.
Where I'm at now, more people seem to think Pepsi. They seem to carry Pepsi more than Coke. But where I'm from, back home, Coke is the drink of choice for most people.
Yeah, that's here.
I'm a Coke. I don't care for Pepsi. Now, I don't mind their root beer. I like their Mountain Dew. Like I said, I like the root beer, but I don't like Pepsi itself.
No, last time I drank Pepsi was around like 1992, 93, when the clear Pepsi was around.
Yeah.
Remember that clear, when that thing was not really popular, but they're trying it out. That was the last time I drank Pepsi.
The only time I like Pepsi better than Coke is when they tried that new Coke. I hated that new Coke. It tasted too much like Pepsi.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you remember when they used to make the Pepsi cans out of metal?
Yeah.
Instead of aluminum?
Yeah. I'm old enough to remember that.
I remember as a kid, my grandfather would say, "This isn't aluminum. You got to get rid of it. Toss it aside."
You used to kick the cans down the road.
Yep.
But they're still the metal cans. But yeah.
Back in the 90s, I think. Down here, aluminum was a good price to go pick up cans.
I can remember where you could buy pop out of a machine. You had to run. They had the bottle. It was the bottles.
Yeah, I remember the bottles
hung by the top. And you had to take it around a rail to get it out.
Oh yeah.
This is the old ones. I mean, they were only like 8-ounce bottles, maybe 10-ounce bottles. I mean, they weren't very big bottles. They were smaller bottles. And the top of the Coke machine would open up, and there'd be kind of like almost like a radiator,
Hmm.
where you could run the bottles around, and you get to a certain spot, and you could pop it out after you paid for the pop. It would let you pop
I
it
don't
out.
remember that. I remember when we would hear.
That's a little before your time. Come on.
Yeah. Here back
I'm
then,
just
back in
tad
the
bit older
80s.
than you, buddy.
Yeah. Back in the 80s, we would collect as many bottles
I
because
mean,
they'd pay you, take 10 cents a bottle or so.
like I said now, Jerry, just remember I'm old enough to be your daddy. All right.
Right? Yeah.
So I'm talking about when I was young. Yeah, those used to be in barber shops and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, Larice, how you doing? Welcome. I'm glad people are here. And anybody, like I said, anybody that wants to come up can come up. Jerry and I can have company. We don't mind.
Nope, because I'll be leaving here shortly. It's so getting really cold now.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, cold for our standards down here, right?
Yeah,
This
for your standards.
Yeah,
I'll take that. It shows. Well, one phone showing 30 degrees right now, which is about a -1 Celsius.
We're not anywhere near that, but 50, anything below 60 is cold.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Anything,
I remember when I moved out to California, I didn't think it got cold. But when I was in the Navy, back when just before you were born, a couple years. And when I went out there, I never wore more than you remember what they used to call the pea coats? I don't mean the Navy pea coats. These were like a heavy flannel jacket. That's all it was. No lining, just a heavy flannel shirt, but it was a jacket. It was a really heavy flannel.
not a top coat.
Yeah, it was just a coat. It was a spring fall jacket. That's all it was.
You know how Dick Tracy kind of a coat?
No. This is, you know what a flannel shirt looks like, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah, because I have two of them.
A much heavier flannel, and it was as a jacket. That's all it was. It's a flannel jacket. They called it a pea coat.
Oh, a jacket instead of being like a shirt type.
Yeah, basically that's what it was.
Wow.
And that's all I ever wore when I first went out to California during the winter, because I'm sorry, it just didn't get that cold to me, Now, after a couple of years out there, by the time you were a baby, I'm wearing a heavy coat during the winter.
Yeah.
Now, not during the day, but at night. At night it would get cold, and I'd want a heavy jacket on because I got adjusted, to the weather there.
Yeah, you got acclimated to being there.
Yeah, because it's like when I first moved out here to New York. People thought, "Oh man, it's hot." And I'm thinking, "What do you mean hot? This ain't hot." My first 2 years in New York, I used I turned an air conditioner on twice. Once just to see if it worked. That was it. I didn't know if it worked, and I'd been living there for, I don't know, almost a year, never used it. So I turned it on just to see if it worked.
Yeah,
it did. But my first 2 years, there was only one night that I actually wish I had an air conditioner when I did. And that was it. The rest of I lived in this one place in Leroy, this rural apartments, when I first moved out there. This is my second year out there. That's the place I turned on the air conditioner just to see if it worked. I rarely even open up the windows during the summer. I just have a fan on. And that was basically pretty much it. Occasionally I'd open up a window, but it just never felt hot to me. Now, I was on the first floor of the apartment building. I had shade all the way around my apartment. So there was no really direct sunlight. But it just didn't get hot enough for me to even think about turning an air conditioner on because I was hot. But now I think it gets hot enough to use an air conditioner. I use one all the time.
Yeah.
But I've been out here for 25 years,
Yep.
Now, Tim says if it's below 85, it's cold to him.
Yeah, my friends over there in Laguna, Well, they keep on telling me it's cold. It's cold. And then I check the weather temperature. Says
Yeah.
80 degrees, 81. Said this is not cold for me because I'm
Yeah.
used to during the summer. That's usually our night's temperature.
Yeah.
We sometimes we don't get out of the 80s or see 70s. But then of course in the winter we do get colder than of course the Philippines.
Yeah.
They start
Oh yeah, you get.
taking out jackets.
Yeah, like I said, and it depends where you're from. I mean, if you
Yeah,
lived in the Philippines all your life, 70 is going to be cold. I mean, you're going
yeah.
to be cold.
Or any tropical country.
Yeah,
Yes,
you'll
70s.
find that cold. Yeah.
And
If you live in the Midwest, that's a pleasant night.
yeah, we appreciate 70s in the summer here
Yeah.
for night.
Well, for me, summer temperatures, if you want to be honest, I like about 70 for the low, about 80 or 85 for the high.
See, and that's where I prefer a 90
Yeah,
degree. And the light went out.
I see that.
But it's a sensor at the yeah, there we go. But what was I saying?
You
Oh,
prefer
the
90.
humidity. Yeah, humidity over there is just as bad as here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They kept on telling me it's hot. They said it's not. It's I was talking to the male companion to one of the other vloggers I follow. I
Yeah.
think he's from Tennessee. He's originally from Georgia, but lives in Tennessee. And I said, these people always say it's hot. It's not really hot. It's uh, the humidity.
Yeah.
But I'm used to summertime humidity here because we can be equal or worse than they are.
Yeah. I know you guys get very humid in certain parts of Texas. Yeah. So
Yeah,
does Florida.
in Florida and Georgia, and
Yeah.
it, it
Now,
can be
like I said,
just
we get humidity in Indiana, but not like you guys.
no. Yeah, we can
It's,
be.
it's worse than out here in New York,
Oh yeah.
but it's not as bad as you guys.
So I'm used to the humidity when I was there sweating. I said I'm used to that because I see that here where I live. I've known it all my life, being from South Texas.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, I a friend of mine is originally my friend that lives out here is originally from China, and when she first came to the States, she went to college in my hometown. That's how I met her. She was dating somebody I knew. We became good friends. And anyway, she was telling me today uh, she could when she first came here, she couldn't believe how hot it got in my hometown. She wasn't expecting that. You know,
Mm,
and it's like, well, it's just the way it is there. I can remember one August, and this is well, no, she'd already got moved to Pennsylvania by this time. Or anyway, it was one August. The low, the low for the day did not get below, I don't think 80 or 89. The low for the day, the whole month was in the 90s or hundreds.
yeah, it's one of those years that the weather kind of unpredictable, just like us last year. We had 90 days of over 100 degrees
Yeah. No, see,
here.
we don't. Where I'm from, we don't get a lot of days over 100. You do get a few, but if you don't get at least 2 weeks of 90-degree weather, you have a mild summer.
Yeah.
You know. Now that same summer I was talking about in Chicago, they had so many deaths from heat stroke that they had to get refrigerated trucks to put the bodies in until they could do the autopsies.
Yeah, it's because it's just so uncommon.
But well, see, you take those large cities, especially places like Chicago, uh, that are really expensive for a person that's not working, an older person. So a lot of those people can't afford air conditioners.
That'd be too expensive, the electricity.
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of them are afraid to open up their windows because of the fact that they're afraid somebody's going to break in and rob them or mug them. So they leave their windows shut without air conditioning, and it killed a lot of the older people. I mean, it was like got up to 112 a few days. I mean, it got ungodly hot. I'm not talking about the humidity. I'm talking about the actual temperature.
Yeah, I mean, it's like being inside a car during the summer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so many people just like I said, especially the older people, they're already a little weaker, and they just can't take that heat. But they won't open up their windows and get a little get some relief, especially if they live on the lower levels, and it killed them. And
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, what keeps you in a city like that if you're afraid to do anything? You're afraid to walk the streets at night. You're afraid to open up your windows to help cool your house off. Why would you stay there? Why not go outside the city somewhere for the same rent you're paying for that place you're living at? You can have a really nice apartment or house with air conditioning and probably still spend less money. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Wouldn't know what I wouldn't know what would keep somebody that way. I don't know.
They're just people like that. They will not move. I've lived here all my life. I don't, now my younger brother, he wouldn't move, but I don't think, but he would be willing. He drove a truck cross country, so I mean, it wasn't like he wasn't willing to go somewhere else. All his friends were in Terre Haute, and he didn't want to move. But he found a job that let him be home some, and he didn't have to move.
Yeah. Speaking of Terre Haute, speaking of Terre Haute, I sent a package to South Bend where my cousin is.
Okay, yeah, that's northeast of my hometown.
Yeah, it's what is it? Close in the northeast. I thought it was northwest Indiana.
I live in the south. Yeah, you're right. Northwest. It's northeast of me.
But then the state itself is.
If you look at the state of Indiana,
closer to Illinois.
No, South Bend is not closer to Illinois.
Is that?
No.
What do you have? Illinois, Ohio?
It's almost in the middle of the state.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now, my hometown is only like 2 miles from Illinois.
Oh, not that far.
Yeah, my hometown's only a couple miles from Illinois. That's all it is.
Yeah,
after you pass the exit from my hometown, the next exit is in Illinois. If you're taking 70.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The last exit is mile marker 7. And then, but I mean, from the edge of town itself, it's probably about 5 miles to Illinois from the edge of my hometown.
I gotta drive more than 8 hours to leave Texas.
Oh yeah, you can enter on one side of Texas and not be out the next day. Still be in Texas.
Yeah, it's such a big state.
Oh yeah, I've been to Texas. I've been there.
The mountains in Mexico are closer than anything else north of here.
Yeah.
I can see mountains just 3 hours away.
I was in Texas when I was 14 or 15. Been to Dallas. Went to the site where Kennedy was shot. Visited that.
Yeah.
I've been to Munday, Texas. I've been to Lubbock. All those places I have relatives. Okay.
I haven't been to Lubbock since '94. Yeah.
And Fort Worth. Had relatives there. I don't know if they're still living or not. I shouldn't say that. I know he's not still living. He was pretty old when I was there, but I don't know about his family if they're still there or not. But this is on my mother's side of the family. A lot of them were down there on her side of the family.
Yeah, I sent a souvenir to my cousin for her boss. She's a Filipina, and she told me, "Buy me something for my boss." I said, "What do you want?" It says, "I got a refrigerator magnet."
Yeah.
It has a. I got three of them. One of them has a jeepney. She didn't want that one. The other one had the I Love Philippines, and I think it was the Quiapo. I don't know if you're familiar with Manila.
No, I'm not familiar with Manila.
Quiapo Church, like Chinatown, that area.
I've heard of it, but I've not really seen very many videos on that.
I haven't been there. I've been to Baclaran this last time around that I was there over in Manila, and so I shipped it out today. Sent it to arrive there in Indiana Wednesday.
Okay, that's cool. You said her boss is Filipino?
Yeah, her boss is a Filipina. I don't know what. She doesn't know that. She just knows she's Filipino, but she doesn't know like province or any other details.
Well, yeah, you don't always go into that
great
of detail. When I was living up in Rochester area, when I lived in Leroy, I used to go to the dealership in Batavia. One of the parts guys, he was from the Philippines. His family was. Now he was up from around Manila, but it wasn't in Manila.
In that area.
Yeah, that's back. Remember when that volcano went off?
Yeah, the one in Pampanga, I think. No,
the one there, not too far from Tres Martires.
Yeah, Tim would know.
Yeah, but it's the one that Steve would go to. They'd sit there, and you can see it's got the volcano cone in the middle of the lake.
Oh, Tao.
Yeah, when that went off.
Oh, that's in the south.
Yeah, well, that affected some of it. Yeah, but that's still not far from Manila.
Yeah, it still goes up north though. Yeah, still go the weather. It still sends the.
I guess it did affect some of his family.
Yes, I wanted to go visit there, but when I got injured,
I can't do it.
My plans, everything changed.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of places I wouldn't mind visiting, but like I said, the first thing I want to do is I want to figure out where I want to live. Like I said, I'm going to Cebu first. All right, that's where I'm going to go first. Now, if I don't decide I want to stay there because maybe it's too large, because outside of San Diego, I've never really lived in large cities. I can take them, but I don't know if I can take them to live in on a regular basis. Couple places I would think about after that. Iloilo would be one of the places.
Get ready for the clean air there in the Philippines with the jeepneys and all the traffic. I had clean lungs before I left here. I felt like I had smoked and smoked and smoked so much carbon monoxide.
Yeah. Well, hold on, Mama Te, welcome. I've not really watched many videos on India. I have had Indian cuisine, and it was pretty good. Welcome to the channel. If you want, you can always just type in 3 L's, LLL, and my Nightbot will drop your link anytime you want. You won't have to go through all the other trouble. I've made it easy for everybody. And they can be capital L's or small L's. It does not matter. It can be a combination thereof. But welcome to the channel. And hopefully some people will check out your channel. So go ahead now, Jerry.
Yeah, no, places that I would not like to visit or stay would be like Angeles City in Pampanga. Yeah. I'm not into the bar scene. So
I'm not either. But that's what I'm saying. I mean, but a nice thing about a bigger city, you got a lot more than just a bar scene.
Yeah.
I'm not really into the bar scene anymore. It's just, it's just not me anymore. I was when I was younger. I could still go to the bar if they got a good pool table, shoot some pool, and talk to a few people, but that'd be it. I don't enjoy drinking and driving, so I wouldn't be driving though, so I could drink.
Yeah. Well, at least there you got tricycles too.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be. Yeah, but it'd be somebody else doing the driving, not me.
Yep. Yeah.
But anyway.
But here, yeah, like for me, Pangasinan, Crystal's Adventures from over there.
Yeah.
That's one of the provinces. I like it there.
Well, like I said, I know I don't want to live in a small area. Ben Gay, how you doing?
And
But I'm not into small areas.
no, oh, I like the
The
province.
people are friendly in the small areas. Don't get me wrong. Just
Yeah,
for me, there's not much to do, and I want to be close to good hospitals. So
yeah, that's
let's say I was to go to where Leyte, where Dan's at. I wouldn't go to Bye Bye. The better hospitals are at Ormark or is that Tacloban, or I can't think of the other city. That would be the areas I would look at if I wanted to live in Leyte.
be
The
near a
areas that have the
hospital.
better
There.
hospital. Yeah, I'm 70. By the
Yeah,
time I go over there, I'm going to be 73. Now I'm in good shape for my age, and if I'm still in good shape when the time comes, I'm going. But like I said, my mom will be 98 in just a few days.
wow,
What 2 weeks?
yeah,
Today's the 6th. The 20th is when she turns 98.
jeez.
Yeah. So I'm not going anywhere with my mom
Mm-mm.
being that age.
No,
Uh,
especially traveling overseas. Now, let's say you're talking about Mexico, Canada, or
yeah,
Caribbean. It's
those places
close,
I can go. Those places I can go.
close
I
because
can
you can
I can
get a
be home
flight.
the same day. I can be home the
Yeah,
same day.
yeah, exactly, and not
Yeah. I'm not too
fif-
far away.
15-hour flight and
Right. Well, also in the Philippines, if you're there for what is it, more than 60 days or 6 months, one of the two, I can't remember which.
I think it's
You have to
15,
do it. You have to do
15
an
months.
exit. I think it's 6 months, but you have to do
Okay.
an exit clearance, which you have to do about 2 weeks before you leave. So I definitely don't want to retire over there while my mom's still alive.
No.
So it's just not going to happen. And so, like I said, I'm going to be here working. Let's say I decide to retire, which not going to happen until I get all my bills paid off. I would still stay in this area, or maybe go back to Indiana. Uh, hey, Charmaine, how you doing? Because, like I said, I don't want to be that far from my mom.
Yeah.
Uh, but unless I got a good source of income, until I decide to move to the Philippines or decide that I can't afford to move to the Philippines because of my health, I'm going to keep right on working. Because I don't want to dip into my savings. I want to build it up. So when I do go over, I'll have more money to look around and find a place that's best for me. I'm hoping Cebu will be that place. But if it's not, I got to be willing to look at other places. And like I
Yeah.
said, Ilo's one of them. I may look at Davao. Uh, but like I said, I'd like to find some vloggers that do Ormark or that other city in Leyte. And I may still go to Luzon, but won't be in Manila. I know I'm not going to want to live in Manila. Near it,
No,
maybe, but I don't want to live in Manila.
I wouldn't just visit, but not stay
Uh,
there permanent.
all right, Jim. But yeah, like I said, I already know I don't want to live in Manila. Like I said,
No.
if I'm worried about Cebu being too big, what do you think Manila's going to
Yeah,
be?
Manila, horrible.
Like I said, I'm thinking Cebu might be too big for me. What do you think Manila's going to be?
Yeah, no,
Way too big for me.
yeah, so don't like the traffic, don't like anything
Yeah,
there. But I got to meet two
I think.
vloggers,
Yeah,
and
like I said, I think it'd be a great place to visit. Oh,
yeah,
by the way, talking about vloggers, uh, Lady E did a video wearing your gift
yeah,
and
she
gave
did
you a
one
shout
post.
out.
Yeah, she did one post, and then so did the other vlogger that I met, and talks finally went back to Laguna, but I was already gone. I was already back here in the States.
Okay.
I know Talks had mentioned that she wanted to meet, but said I'm not gonna travel all the way to La Union. That's where she was
Yeah.
staying,
Yeah.
but she's
Well,
back over here in.
yeah.
I'm trying to remember. There's somebody else. Can't remember. Mengay. I'm trying to remember who else. Somebody that's also from Laguna.
But now Tim says he only goes to Manila for his VA clinic appointments 2 times per year.
That's good.
Yeah. But like I said, I could see visiting Manila. I don't think I'd want to do it more than a couple times total, probably. Like I go down to New York City. I mean, let's be honest about it. If I go down once a year, it's good for me.
Yeah.
I can go more than that, but I really don't do it unless somebody else wants to go down. It was the same thing when I lived in Indiana. I didn't go to Chicago as much as I could either, because Chicago was actually closer to me than New York City. And but I didn't go up there very often. I went to Indianapolis a little more often, but I didn't go up there a lot either.
Yeah, no big cities are close to me. Everything's San Antonio's 4 hours away.
Well,
Austin 5, Houston 6, and Dallas 8.
Well, like I said, Indianapolis was an hour.
Yeah, pretty
Chicago was
close.
about 3 hours. St. Louis is about 3 hours. So there were some big cities I could go to. I'd go to Indianapolis the most, but even there I didn't go a lot. Most of the stuff I needed was in my hometown.
Yeah, no.
More people came to my hometown to do their shopping. I mean, we had very good shopping, great food. I mean, we weren't, what you would call high cuisine or haute cuisine.
As long as you had a Kmart, you were fine.
Oh, we had Kmart, Walmart.
Yeah, we had a Kmart way before we had a Walmart.
Yeah. We had a Kmart long before Walmart, too. I think Kmart's older. But, I mean, we had a couple shopping malls, like 3 of them. My hometown was only about 70,000 people, maybe 80.
Yeah, it's a big city.
Yeah, like I said, it was big enough that I had almost everything you needed. You rarely had to go anywhere else to get something. Now, like I said, if you wanted like 4 or 5 star restaurants, you might have to go to the big city.
Yeah, you gotta venture out.
Yeah, but otherwise, all your shopping could be done right in my hometown.
Yeah,
all kinds of restaurants. Now, people from 40 miles away would come into my hometown to shop. Okay, all the time. Because to get to a larger city than where I lived, you had to go that hour to Indianapolis. If you wanted to go west, you had to go that almost 3 hours to St. Louis. You wanted to go south, you had to go an hour and a half to 2 hours south to get to a city larger than my hometown. So most of the people would come to my hometown because it was closer. And for some of them, even though if it wasn't closer, they still came to my hometown because it wasn't as hectic as the large city. And they could get everything they wanted at my hometown.
Yeah.
So they would come to my hometown to do their shopping. So unless they wanted to go to a ball game or something like that, which was in the larger cities, they just come to my hometown.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, yeah. It's really a trip.
Yeah.
And, there's a magazine called Money Magazine. And they used to do surveys on the metropolitan areas. And my hometown area is considered like one of the 150th largest. There's like 149 or 150 larger than the top 300. We were almost dead center.
Wow.
And they were judging how much money people made compared to what they spent. And they showed what geographical area they included. Well, they said we were the only area that spent more money than we made. And that's because they didn't take into consideration how far out people actually came in to Terre Haute to shop. So all they were looking at is how much money was spent and how many people lived in this one geographical area, which our area of influence is actually larger than what they gave us credit for.
Yeah, they don't always tell the whole story.
Well, they probably didn't realize it because all they're doing is they're looking at data.
Yep.
This is how much money spent in this town. That's all the number of people that live in this area, and this is what they make. They didn't look at how far out do people come in to shop in this area. How many
Yeah.
people from outside that area come in and shop? I guess in a lot of areas there's not that many, but in ours it was quite a few. Because like I said, you had to go almost 70 miles from my hometown to get to Indianapolis. So a lot of people that were 40 miles out say, I'm not driving, it saves me 10 miles. I'm not doing it. I'll go to Terre Haute. It's less traffic, less headache, less this, less that. Well, if you wanted to go towards Illinois, you had to go almost 200 miles to get to a town larger than my hometown.
See.
If you were going straight west. And then now if you started going, like I said, now if once you went up towards Chicago, but that was still almost 200 miles. Once you got closer to Chicago, you got the towns as large or larger than mine, but you're still looking at almost 100 miles before you got to them. So about halfway would be 50 miles.
Yep.
So if you were less than 50, I guarantee you were going to my hometown instead of the others.
Yeah.
Unless you like the large city. The younger people might go to the larger city because more excitement.
Yeah, but
the families weren't going there.
No.
With mom, dad, and the kids, they weren't going there.
You're just going to what you need, and that's it.
Yeah, well, they were going to where they felt safer with the kids.
Yeah.
Where you could get what you needed. You didn't have to go to these big cities, and you could go sit down at a restaurant and you just it was less hectic because, like I said, when you're watching kids, you got enough headaches as it is. Making sure you keep track of the kids and keep them from being harmed in any way. You don't need to deal with the other stuff unless you have to.
Yep, I agree. I'm gonna sign off, Larry.
All right, I don't know how much. Like I said, I won't know how much longer I'm going to go. It depends on whether or not somebody else comes up. I won't go a whole lot longer.
Yeah, it's kind of chilly out here, and I'm getting the sniffles.
Well, like I said, I had to sit outside yesterday for about an hour and a half. I had my heavy insulated coat on, but I left my hat. I left my hat in the gatehouse because I wasn't expecting to be out there that long.
Yeah, no, all I got is a t-shirt and or pants because it was a mild day.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I went out and ran some errands this morning, and I'm not going out again until I go clean my car off tomorrow evening. So I won't have to do it when I get up in the morning Monday to go to work. Save myself some time.
Yeah, that's why I bought the part that I needed for the truck today. Instead of saying, no, let me go in the morning, let me just go now.
Yeah. Do the running while you can.
Yeah, so I don't have to wake up that early. I don't have anything to do.
I went to the bank, got some money out. I went to the store, bought a couple of things to make sure I had enough. I probably had enough to get through, but it was like, all right, let's buy. I was almost out of bread. So I went in mainly to get bread and salad dressing because I had salad but no salad dressing. That's all I was going in for,
Yep.
And I ended up buying a couple other things, but stuff I could use.
Yep.
But it was crowded. It was like, but I thought about going to the gas stations. Like, no, everybody's going to the gas station trying to fill up right now. It's like, I got enough that I'll do it on Tuesday when I go to the VA. I'll stop by I don't know if you know what BJ's is or not. It's kind of like a Costco.
No, okay. We don't have that.
Our Sam's Club.
We got Costco and Sam's.
Yeah. They're competitor. Hey, Eric. And the thing is, though, the gas is a lot cheaper there. And I'm a member, so I get the member's price, which is a lot less. And in fact, I love my BJ's card to my friend today. And that's where she went. She went and filled her car up, and she goes, "Man, it was a long line, but she goes, they were moving quick." Then they went in the store. And she goes, "It was a madhouse in there." I said, "I know. That's why I decided not to go." I can wait till Tuesday. I got enough gas to get till Tuesday, and it'll be a lot slower then because the storm will be over with, and And
Yeah,
it'll be during the work. It'll be during the work day too. So
yeah, work during the weekday. It's a weekday. It's not a weekend day.
well,
It's
I don't mind
work
going
day.
on the weekend, but not when it's going to be, when you've got a storm coming up, because that's when
Yeah,
everybody
no.
wants to forget it. But like I said, on Tuesday, it's going to be a work day. It's during the week. There won't be very much traffic. There'll be traffic, but I mean, nothing like the
Not as
weekend.
not as bad as
Yeah.
weekend.
And,
Well, I'm saying goodbye and good night.
all right. You have a good night's sleep, man. Thanks for coming up.
Likewise, and everybody, take
All
care.
right.
Bye.
See, I'm glad he got back safely. Hey, Eric, I don't know if I've ever told you or not, but if you have a channel, you can just type in 3Ls, LLL, and by Notbot will drop your link. Tim drops his every once in a while. He's got a nice channel. So if everybody wants to come up, come on up. If not, I will be ending this probably shortly. We've been going on now for over an hour. Almost an hour and 20 minutes, not quite. But there you go. And just to let you know, Eric, it can also be small L's. It doesn't have to be capital. So whenever you come in, just 3L's, and that could be capital and small both together. It doesn't matter. Just 3L's. That's all it takes. My Nightbot drops your link for you. It's real simple. I set it up that way. I thought about setting it up where you had to type in lazy, and I decided, no, let's don't do that. Let's make it simple. We use the initials of my channel, Lazy Larry Lee, LLL. So that's all I did. And I'm glad y'all showed up. I was hoping to see some others, but all right, everybody. I think I'm going to go ahead and shut this one down. I got a ball game going on that I want to check out. My Colts are playing. Matter of fact, they just probably had kickoff a couple of minutes ago. And so I'll go check the game out. Unless somebody else wants to come up, I'll stay up and talk if people want to come up. No problem. But otherwise, I'm going to shut this down. I want to thank you all for coming. I want to remind you to be kind to each other. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Let's, as always, try to have fun. Take care, everybody. Have a good day at work there, Eric. All right. I'm ending the stream. See y'all later. Bye.